Ba-dum. 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 Hi! Hello everyone, this is me, DementedGastly, here with another Toll Drama video. So today what we're going to be doing is another what if. I've been very tired lately, very work hard, hardly working, you know what I'm saying? So for all my hard work and effort in the rest of my life, make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're on our way to 1,000, a very far away amount, but we'll get there eventually, I'm sure of it. So, anyway. So, what if Ezekiel was on Team Amazon? Let's get right into it. Okie dokie. Man, I watched a lot of meme videos before, or while setting up for this and for the other stuff that I'm gonna be recording. So I'm a little bit dazed. I think my brain has been thoroughly rotted. So we get rid of Duncan in Walk Like an Egyptian 2. However, there's no stick for Zeke to lose, and hell if they're going to lose a friggin' camel, dude. They are not going to lose a friggin' camel. So, there's no way for Zeke to screw it up. He realizes he is on a team full of girls. This is his chance to make amends. Zeke realizes this is his only chance to make amends, and for women to finally not see him as a sexist weirdo. So, he tries with the easiest. Ezekiel may be socially illiterate, but he knows 8 languages. One of them being bitch. So he gets into Heather's DMs, slides into those DMs, and is like, yo, yo, yo. Hey, I heard you need an ally. And so, Heather, realizing, oh, I can manipulate this freak, without realizing that Ezekiel, though socially inept as I may say, is actually a genius, she goes along with that. So now we have a good old-fashioned alliance. We have... Sorry. Yawn. Super crazy, happy, fun time Japan. Nothing changes, except Cody and Sierra have a little bit more help with Ezekiel. Except he doesn't really know how to work a camera, so he just, beatboxes or some shit behind it. So next we have anything you can do, I can do better. Alejandro manipulates Bridget. Let's be real here, let's just get these out of the way, dude. Let's just get... Team Victory's just going to get murdered every single time. I don't think anything bad happens with Ezekiel in anything you can do, I can do better. Gosh, I'm yawning again. Ah. Okay. Okay. An air-to-ground communicator speaks to Chef about the plane flying in a no-fly zone, though it's unknown who voiced him. Woo! A Russian chef speaks in the exclusive clip in Russian, though it is unknown who voiced him. Sorry, I just blanked out for a second there. Man, I need to sleep more. So next, we have Broadway Baby. Cody falls into the ladies' bazongahongs or whatever. Meanwhile, Ezekiel doesn't really understand anything about that. Also, when the team happened, he was completely fine with it being named Amazon, and though Cody was like completely against it, Ezekiel tried to convince him. Yo, it's the best thing to do, eh? It'll bring the team together, eh? Because this is a team the girls wanted. And so Cody's like, whatever, dude. They are hanging out, though. So at the end, Heather is not satisfied with the meat grinder and throws it off as a reward. Ezekiel tries to convince her. This time it's Ezekiel who tries to convince her, don't throw it out. But she goes, what do you know, dork? And then throws it out because we need a little bit of Ezekiel abuse here. Next we have Aftermath, Troubled Water, Slap Slap Revolution. Ezekiel doesn't do too much in this one. I think we should take the attention off of him a little bit in this episode, kind of focus it more on Lashana, Alejandro, a little bit on Tyler and Lindsay, Owen. Noah had a lot of moments this episode as well. But next we have, because we get rid of Lashana here, next we have the Amazon race. Yeah, the Amazons know that it's going to be a fake elimination, but they figured out, because Chris mentioned how many votes were for each, they realized that one of them teamed up with Heather. And they don't know which one did. So now there's distrust within the team. Heather can use that to her advantage. But no one goes home. Can't help falling in love. DJ's curse is really harming him right in this episode. Lindsay is eliminated. However, instead of Gwen, DJ chooses Ezekiel because I think Ezekiel would look silly in those clothes. That's the only reason why. I just feel like it would look silly. So can't help falling in love. We get rid of Lindsay. Oop. I made an extra on there. Then we move on to New Kids on the Block. Okay. So, for New Kids on the Block, We have DJ here, who is going to win this challenge. Gwen takes the blame for their loss, prompting Heather to yell at her and proclaiming that she is going to vote Gwen off. Chris then announces that the celebration of them being in his homeland, the episode will be a reward challenge instead of an elimination. Team Victory and Team Chris is really, 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 really freaking hot, are both entitled to a delicious fish and clam chowder dinner. Both teams are enjoying their meals when Alejandro finds one of Owen's socks in his soup, courtesy of an annoyed Heather. Afterwards, he walks to the shore. Chris then comes from nowhere, calling Alejandro a reality producer's dream and everyone else's nightmare before signing off the show. So for Jamaica Me Sweat, Izzy and Noah are having their own problems. Ezekiel talks to DJ and tries to talk to him about curses not being real because Ezekiel doesn't believe anything other than our Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah. We got our Christian Ezekiel. I'm just kidding. He doesn't say that, but like we're gonna heavily imply that he is very Christian. Because I could say Jewish due to the fact that he always wears a hat. However, I don't know. I feel like there's something with being homeschooled here and the way that he acts that's more Christian feeling to me. But yeah, definitely comes from religious family. I mean, who else would name their child Ezekiel? Let's be real here. So Izzy out of the plane, bonks head. Smart now. DJ pops off. Gwen has infirmary. DJ obviously goes home. DJ asks Chris if they need an elimination due to Izzy leaving the competition earlier, only to take the drop of shame anyway. A short drop because the plane is still on the beach. Upon landing, DJ is attacked by a colony of red ants, causing DJ to scream in terror. This is enough to satisfy Chris as he signs off the show. Obviously, in this case, Chris is so done with, with people staying in. He was actually hoping that someone would lose their thing in the first challenge. He was hoping specifically someone would throw away the stick, saying it's useless, and then try to follow someone else back to shore. But no one did such things. Not even in canon. It was ate by a crocodile. So we have moved on to IC London. Who is the Ripper, my dear friend? Could it be Duncan? Could it be Lindsay? Could it be Izzy? They had her work on the show before. Could it be the sweetheart, DJ? Why no? It's the nerd, Harold. Harold acts as this Ripper. And no, he's not feral or anything, but the moment he touches you, you're out. Which means that Team Amazon ends up winning the challenge because Gwen and Courtney made it the entire time without being able to capture him. Meanwhile, Noah and Owen beat up Harold. But they did end up getting grabbed, which means that they lost the challenge. Ezekiel ends up getting taken by Harold because Harold noticed that Ezekiel is collecting clues a little bit too well. Despite Gwen and Courtney being a dynamic duo here, he decides to single out Ezekiel because unlike the Courtney and Gwen duo, Ezekiel is completely on his own, which means that he's a prime target, especially since he's looking for clues right now. It seems to be Harold is starting to realize that Ezekiel is intelligent, which is something that Ezekiel doesn't want to portray too much of at this moment because it'd probably be bad for him, I'm not gonna lie. However, Courtney and Gwen bring back Duncan. Duncan sees Harold as the Ripper, goes, "Ew, pathetic." And Harold is thrown off the plane, and they get rid of Noah here because Duncan was the only one who voted for Noah. And in reality, the others just kind of want to see Noah gone. Also, Harold gets a little bit of revenge on Alejandro. Next we have Grease's Pieces. Where nothing crazy happens. Oh. Okay, nothing crazy happens. What am I saying? I am definitely not going to have Ezekiel take Tyler's place for seeing the kiss. It's just not gonna happen. Would it make a little bit of sense for him to take over Tyler's place? Yes. Should he? No. I don't want him in that situation. I feel like that'd be too much. Too much drama. We don't need that right now. Tyler needs something for his character other than slapstick right now as well. So we're going to keep our little Ezekiel thing in our pockets here. Now, everybody's doing something when the thing is announced. Alejandro is telling Tyler to say it. Owen's panicked in the background. Duncan gets punched by Cody. Courtney's about to kill Gwen. Courtney is held back by Sierra. And let's see, where is Heather at the moment? Heather says she's got my vote. And Ezekiel is just kind of in the background right now. He's noticing all this drama happening, and he's realizing there's a lot of emotions flying everywhere, eh? I feel like I can do something about this. And he sees Heather using this as a way to manipulate other people, and he's learning. He's learning. However, Grease's Pieces is a non-elimination challenge. Okay. Sorry, I just read the extra, and I just thought it was funny. Okay, so we have the X-Files. All this shit is happening. I'm not gonna lie, Ezekiel does nothing this episode. We need to focus on other people. He'll get more in the upcoming episodes. So, Picnic at Hanging Dork. We're going to have Cody get slapsticked. Gwen's allergic to eucalyptus. Eucalyptus? Your lipsticks. Eucalyptus. And she gets eliminated. I don't think there's gonna be anything that's, like, you know, weird about that. Next we have Sweet and Sour. For Sweet and Sour, the two teams land in Sweden, all that sort of stuff. Duncan... I feel like, for the most part, Ezekiel's just going to be very uncomfortable. He's going to dance with the rest of them, though. Even if Cody doesn't sing. He's also pretty impressed by the workmanship and kind of, like, stares at it with his mouth open in the background. So... we're not gonna get rid of anyone here. Then we have the Aftermath After Mayhem, where we get Blanley. Yay! Yay. Okay, so we have made it to merge. We have all these people in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, what they decide to do is give Ezekiel a dummy. I don't know, it's some sort of reference to, there's a picture of Ezekiel with a farmer, a scarecrow, essentially. A farmer clothes scarecrow that he has on his farm, and I'm going to say that we use that. It's pretty heavy, though, because Chris wanted to weigh him down. But everything goes according to usual. People just kind of want to get rid of Owen here. Alejandro's looking at Ezekiel like, oh man, this guy is gonna be so dumb, so easy to get rid of. Next we have a little Chinese lesson for you. I think this song is really freaking racist. Okay, so here we go. So here are the votes. We have Courtney and Blanley. So here's how it goes. The votes are evenly tied between Courtney and Blanley. So we're going to say here that is the people who voted Alejandro and Duncan. I can't remember, who was it? I think it was Alejandro and Duncan voted for Courtney. Oh my god. Okay, this is actually pretty difficult. Okay, yeah, I can't find it. Okay. Yeah, so here is going to be the votes. I'm going to say that is going to be Alejandro, Sierra, and Ezekiel for Blanley. And of course, we're going to have Cody voting for no one. Or sorry, Owen gets out here. So Cody has been convinced by the guys who are trying to make a little guys alliance here with Cody, knowing that he will easily just fall for anything they say because, you know, even though he hates Duncan, Cody realizes that, or they realize that Cody's into manly man things, and he just wants to be one of the boys. And so by doing this, they're like, oh yeah, you can do it. We can do this. So we get rid of both Courtney and Blanley here that way. Unless Cody I made a mistake. Okay. So for this, Cody votes no one, and Ezekiel votes with Sierra and Heather, thus getting rid of Blanley. Courtney realizes she's on the chopping block, which is why we have made it to African Safari, or American Lying Safari. Wait, why did I put American? I think it's because, God tier, I don't know. So now, this is when we have the double elimination, because I think this would be freaking hilarious. Cody votes for Sierra. Heather and Alejandro vote for Courtney, or for Duncan, and Ezekiel and Sierra vote for Courtney. We get rid of these two lovebirds together, and I think that would be hella funny. Plus, you know, this gives Courtney a slightly higher placement in this season. So now we've made it to Rapafui. In this, Chris would reveal it is a rewards challenge, meaning that Sierra is safe for the night. But in this case, she technically wouldn't be. So, they get rid of her here, with Cody, Alejandro, and Heather all voting for her. Next we have Drumheller, where Sierra clings onto the plane. Alejandro would make the incriminating photo, however, she's not going to. Sierra walks up, reminding Cody at how it's his birthday, but she doesn't have the fire cake this time. She just has a regular cake. So, Alejandro is still eliminated, which leaves us with 2 nerds and a girl. In the Hawaiian style, we have these 3. Nobody sticks up for either Heather or Ezekiel, so Bridget puts people on both their teams. Then we have planes, trains, and hot airmobiles, where Ezekiel and Cody prepare for takeoff. Cody's able to build it, Ezekiel's able to find a way to make it function, and Heather isn't stopped by any antics. Except for maybe Sierra and Alejandro both trying to find a way back into the game. Which, for the sake of drama, Chris is allowing. They don't want to give up. Finally, we have Hawaiian Punch, where Cody and Ezekiel are pit against each other, and Ezekiel does something very smart, but also very dumb. He swings with all his might against the weak, feeble Cody, knowing that in a hand-to-hand combat situation, he would easily be able to beat Cody. Even though this is a little bit of a friendly thing, Ezekiel knows that he's going to have to put in all of his effort. He swings so hard, though, he falls off of the platform, thus allowing for this to be the final two. You guys really thought Ezekiel would win this, didn't you? I know, I love Ezekiel, and so do you, probably. You'd probably do, if you clicked on this video. But, now that we've made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go outside, compliment someone's hair, and make the world a little bit of a better place.